everyone, this is Keith Schleicher from Gaming Trends and Tabletop Throwdown, and I'm here at Origins Game Fair with Chris and Bill from Calliope Games, and they are in the midst of the Titan series that they successfully funded on Kickstarter a couple years ago. And this game here is part of that Titan series, and this one is actually the one that has been designed by Eric Lang. So that's a pretty big name as far as Titans go in the board game industry. And the name of the game we have here is Ancestree. So how does Ancestree play?
Ancestree is a drafting game. And so the idea is, I think I've got a better family than Bill.
And I think you're completely wrong.
And I'm going to prove I've got a better family. We are in the historical archives. We are looking through these old books trying to uncover our family tree. So there's 3 rounds. In each round, we're each going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you will look at the different tiles that you have. They all come from different families. There's a number of different families, and you're looking to see different connections that will eventually be made with leaves and hearts. And you're also looking to see how rich these ancestors were. So once you pick a tile, you put it down, and you pass along to the next player, and then you reveal the family member that you chose, and then you begin again with the new tiles that you have in typical drafting manner. So you take a look, you pick one, and you pass along to the next player. Now, in order to connect, you have to connect a leaf or a heart. So when I reveal, I can connect this leaf to the top and bottom, so I now have one complete leaf. And over here, Bill is connecting that leaf. Now we'll continue on. For the purposes of this, we'll just add to our tree a little bit here, just to show you what kind of things they can look like. You can connect hearts, you can connect leaves. Let's see, this girl's gonna go here, and this wonderful headdressed lady will go right here. So once you have placed, Bill is a diligent researcher, no doubt about it. So once you have placed, oh yes, I'm sorry, I did too many. It would be 5 and you throw the last one away. The next thing we do is we compare our generations to see how many generations in a chain we have. So Bill over here has 3 generations of gray. I have 0, so he would take one of these round 1 markers for gray, for the gray lions, and place it right there. For the other colors, we would do everything. So yellow, I have 1 generation. Even though they are horizontal here, they're touching horizontally, they need to be vertical. We need to see vertical generations. So this is 1, but Bill has 0 in his family tree. So I get to take 1. Now when you're playing with multiple players, you only compare with the player to your left and the player to your right. So this goes up to 6 players, but I'm only concerned with my neighbors. Those are the ones whose families I want to beat. All right, so we're gonna go each family and we're gonna choose. In the second round, we will put the chips on this row, and on the third, we'll put the chips on this row. As you can see, they have the round right on there. And these chips at the end of the game will be worth a number of points equal to what they show. So your generations will become more and more valuable as the game goes on. Once you've compared your sides for your generations and you've gotten your dynasty tokens, you count up all of the gold at the bottom of the tile. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's nothing here. So I would get 5 gold, and I would add it to my treasury. Bill would do the same.
I'm looking at 1 and 2, so I'm going to get 2 for my treasury.
So at the end of each round, you will compare your dynasties, you will add your gold, and then you will set up for another round. Everyone gets 6 more tiles. You do the same thing, you draft. This time it's counterclockwise instead of clockwise. You'll do the, at the end of that, you'll check your dynasties, you'll check your gold, and then again, you'll do that for the third round, but it'll be clockwise again. And finally, at the very end of the game, after you've calculated your dynasties and your coins for the third round, you're going to take a look at marriages. So the marriages, for the number of marriages, you'll get a number of points. So over here we've got a marriage between these fine folks, and we've got a marriage between these fine folks. So for every marriage that you have, you will get a bonus, depending on the number of marriages that you have. Then at the end of the game, you'll get a point for all of your dynasty tokens. You'll get points for 1 point for each coin that you have, or for each point of coins that you have. And then you'll get your bonus. You add those together. Whoever has the highest score has the greatest family tree and wins those all-important genealogical bragging rights.
So after the end of the first round here, we have this tree here. Does the tree stay there, or does it actually get like removed and replaced?
Oh, good question. Yeah, this tree just continues to be built upon. And I should also say, because the idea is you're researching at the historical archives. You don't know what you're going to discover. So you can build up, down, left, or right from what you have. You just have to be able to connect at least one legal heart or leaf. You can go up, down, left, or right, and you'll continue to build from the same tree. And everyone has their own individual tree that they're branching out from throughout the game. Oh, leave me alone.
Okay, and when is this going to be available?
This game should be available in stores this fall. We're looking at a release shortly after Gen Con this year.
Okay, and how many players does it handle?
This goes 2 players all the way up to 6. This works very well as a 2-player game. The only rules change is if you beat the other player, you take 2 tokens instead of 1. Besides that, actually Eric has said from the beginning that this is a game he designed to play with his wife Sonia. So the two of them play 2-player all the time, and it goes all the way up to 6 players.
Okay. How long does a typical game last?
It's about 20 minutes. I would say at the high end, 30, 40 if you're really, really digging deep into those historical archives. But I would say the average game is 20 to 30 minutes.
And when will it be available?
A little bit after Gen Con.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And next up from Calliope Games, we have Capital City from James Ernest, and this looks like it's mostly a card game involving trains or something.
Well, welcome to the Old West, Keith. So, this is Capital City. In Capital City, we're going to be taking on the roles of these wonderful animal denizens of the Old West. Every family is represented by a different type of critter. We've got eagles, and we've got coyotes, we got toads. So there's a number of different families. What you're going to be doing, the thing about this game is it's a little bit of a collection of wonderful mechanics, and it teaches a little bit of how each one of these works. So what's going to happen is we're trying to build the best Old West town. All right, so everyone starts with a number of coins. At the beginning of each round, you're going to bid for priority to see who's taking what order in this round. If I want to go third in a 3-player game, that's fine, I can take this. But if I don't, I can put a coin on there. If Bill decides that he doesn't want to go, he can throw a coin on there, and then I can say, to heck with it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to get these coins, and I'm going to go third. And then it continues on until everybody's been assigned a priority. All right, so that's the first thing you do in the game, is you bid for priority. Now, the second thing you do is, in priority order, you come over here to where the train has just arrived. Now remember, we talked about there were different families. You can actually see on the card backs which families are on the train, but you don't know exactly who's on the train. So starting with priority 1, the train arrives, and now we're going to be drafting townspeople to come and join our towns. So maybe I choose Ruby here, and I place it face down in my area, and then I pass these along to Bill, who's going to choose someone to get into his town, and then it'll go, if he was priority 2, and now it'll go to priority 3, and then finally when there's the last person, they get thrown away because they're a hobo. So now that we've all drafted someone off the train, the second step is, again in priority order, we go over to the main street and we pick a building, and you can spend the deed cost as shown here on the bottom to purchase it and put it into your town, into your area in front of you. So we can all spend our money and do that. Let's say I were to purchase this feedlot, spend the couple dollars necessary to do that. I put that into my town, and then Bill could go, and depending on what he chose, he might purchase something. This one is $7, and this is the blacksmith. Now, the third thing you do on your turn, after you bid, and after you, the fourth thing, so after you bid, and then after you draft off the train, then after you purchase buildings, now it's time to attach those people to those buildings. But you don't do that in priority order, you do it in reverse. So starting with the person who's got the highest priority, you now get to attach a townsperson to the building and connect the icons so that you have a connected icon. Once you do that, you get to earn what the building produces. In this case, $4 would come over to me. Now, as the game goes on, and this is the most interesting thing about the game, let's say I had another one of these wonderful cards, or let's say Bill had another one of these wonderful cards, and he attached it to his building here. This has 2 connection points. He would get to activate and get one of these 2 things, either victory points or coins. After he does that, any other members of the red family that he has in his town also get to activate. So in other words, if he already had this lumber mill sitting here, and Ruby got connected, and he got to collect either 2 coins or 2 victory points. Let's say he takes 2 victory points. He then activates any other red characters, ones from the same family, and now he can get the earnings from that building, so he can take another 2 victory points. But wait, there's more. Not only does he get to trigger all of his red workers, but every other player gets to choose a card that has someone from that family attached and activate it and get the earnings from it as well. So it's a chain reaction. The first one that you attach, you earn from. Then you earn every other character of that color in your town, and then every other player gets to choose one of their buildings and earn from the building. So you have to be careful as you choose your characters and your buildings, what exactly you're getting. And that's why it's important with priority order. Sometimes you want to be first so you get the first choice of characters and buildings, but sometimes it's okay to go later, because at the end of the round you're actually going to attach sooner and have more opportunity to activate from other people. So that's where the choices come in. And there's only spring, summer, fall, and winter. 4 rounds of this game. So it's a fast-paced game. You need to build an engine, get it working, get as much stuff as you can. The winner is the one with the most victory points, but you really are going to need those coins to buy the buildings, so you have to choose when you want to switch over and start earning your victory points.
Very cool. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of choices there, and that priority order is very important.
Absolutely, yes. It's crucial. Choosing who to take off the train and choosing what order you're going to go in. Those 2 things, really every decision in this game is meaningful, because you only have a number of decisions to make before the end comes. So you really have to maximize what you're doing. And sometimes not doing so well in the first round, but you set yourself up well for later, can really pay off.
Cool. And when is this going to be available?
This should be available slightly after Gen Con. This fall it'll be available. Fall of 2017.
And how many players will it support?
From 3 all the way up to 6.
Oh wow, so again, a nice range of players to play it as.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that, and the more players you have, the more families will be involved in the game.
Right.
And so it makes the game a lot of fun when you play with more people.
Cool. And do you have a price point on that yet?
We're still locking that down, but it would be somewhere in the $25 to $30 range.
Yeah, so very affordable.
Absolutely. It's gonna come in a smaller half Suro sized box. And it'll be a new box size for us. Amazingly, we're very excited about our new box size. But yes, that'll be coming in the fall by James Ernest, part of the Titan series, and it'll be in about the $25, $30 range.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for your time.
Well, you're quite welcome.